Um, Hi again. My name is Kathy Way. I am a software engineer at Zebra Technologies, and today I'm going to present to you Zebra's device tracker solution. Keeping devices up and running in operation has never been more important. Time is of essence, particularly in this day of buying online and picking up in store, or fulfilling online orders for on-time delivery. I'll be introducing Zebra's device tracker, which easily tracks and finds missing Zebra Android mobile devices within your facility to maintain optimal workforce productivity and minimize downtime. For today's agenda, I will be discussing the business challenges typically encountered and how Device Tracker addresses these challenges. Next, I'll cover the benefits and features of Device Tracker. I'll demonstrate how the solution works through a brief animation. And lastly, I'll discuss the roadmap. So let's take a deeper look into Device Tracker. It is crucial to keep devices used by your workforce fully operational. Each moment a device is lost or misplaced, it impacts worker productivity and ultimately customer service quality. Finding lost devices can be like finding a needle in a haystack, particularly in large, spacious fulfillment facilities packed with shelves and racks of inventory and personnel scrambling to fulfill orders. Now you have the power to easily track and find your missing Zebra Android devices right in the palm of your hands with Device Tracker. With Device Tracker, you can limit downtime from the inability to use lost or misplaced devices and instead easily locate these devices by tracking them. You can also leverage your existing Wi-Fi network infrastructure and built-in BLE in Zebra devices to easily locate other devices using the proximity meter that provides a visual indicator on how close you are located in comparison to the lost device. Device visibility is in real time, allowing you to locate devices at risk, where battery loss is almost imminent, providing the opportunity to locate the device so it can be charged before it completely loses power. As a cloud-based solution, there is no server setup or management. The backend is all managed by Zebra and is easily scalable to support large deployments. And you can even find devices that are powered off. This applies to devices that have a secondary BLE, which could either be built into the device or part of the battery. In summary, the major benefits of Device Tracker are maximum device availability, keeping devices up and running, reduce device costs by preventing device inventory shrinkage, thereby reducing the total cost of ownership and increasing device value, and optimize workforce productivity, which all results to maximized ROI. Now let's talk about Device Tracker features and what makes it a compelling solution. Easy deployment. Deployment is simple and straightforward. After purchasing Device Tracker service based on the number of devices to track, simply configure Device Tracker by registering the sites and access points, for example, by the part name, so the locations within the facility can be easily identified. Then deploy the Device Tracker app onto your devices. Deployment can be performed through an EMM, an enterprise mobility management system, or with Zebra's StageNow staging tool. There are different levels of access to ensure each individual has the appropriate access to perform their respective tasks. Administrators have the ability to view all devices in all locations. They are responsible for registering sites, access points, and device data, as well as configuring options and managing users. Administrators set up managers to monitor and manage devices within the individual site the manager is assigned to. Manager tasks include the ability to set a device to be found if it is misplaced or lost, and decommissioning or recommissioning a device to remove a device from the active device pool or replace it back into the active device pool. Associates can take action to locate the devices that are designated to be found. After going through the search process to find the lost device using the proximity meter, the associate marks the device as found or cannot be found. Meanwhile, this finding status is visible to administrators and managers throughout the search process. As part of the setup, one of the first steps is to register sites and access points with friendly names, for example, based on department, to easily identify the general device location based on the access point the device is connected to. Then register devices with your user-friendly names for easy device identification, for example, based on the user role or username. All the device information is accessible at your fingertips. This particular screen capture shows a subset of device information. To highlight a few important items, they include battery level, site name, last connected access point, and status of the finding process. The dashboard is, the dashboard is accessible to administrators and managers. Administrators have access to a centralized dashboard showing devices across all sites. They have the ability to drill down into a particular site to view the corresponding site information. Managers can access a dashboard that shows devices for their assigned site. The dashboard shown here is from an administrator viewing all device information across all sites. Information for a specific site is similarly seen for managers. Some information provided are low battery, so action can be taken before the battery is completely consumed. Finding status, showing the stage of the finding process the device is in. Charging status, connection state. Decommissioned, which lists decommissioned devices, meaning they are no longer in active use, or they may need to be temporarily taken out of the active device pool, for example, if they need to be serviced. This pauses the device from being monitored. A note can be added to provide the reason for decommissioning, such as device being serviced due to broken screen. And lastly, the final highlight is the checked out status. This is an optional configuration enforcing users to scan their user barcode before gaining access to the device. To start the finding process, first the administrator or manager marks the device to be found. By flagging the device, it automatically places it in the to be found list. An associate can then accept to find the device by tapping on Start Finding as seen here. This changes the device to the being found state, indicating that an individual is in the process of finding the device. Now that the finding process is initiated, the user interface is displayed. The first step is to walk towards the connected access point of the missing device to be in the general area where the missing device is located. Then use the Geiger counter style proximity meter, which uses Bluetooth beacon transmissions to detect approximately how close you are located from the missing device. To aid in the search, a sound can be played to find the specific device location. This is particularly useful if the device is hidden out of sight. An additional benefit of Device Tracker is the ability to find and recover devices that are not powered on. If a device loses power due to battery depletion or is powered off manually, it can still be located with Device Tracker. Note that this only applies to devices that have a secondary BLE. When the device loses battery power, the secondary BLE takes over and continues beaconing so that another device can detect it and locate it. Check-in checkout is an optional feature that enforces users to scan their unique user barcode to access the device. This applies to shared devices, providing visibility into who the user is that currently has ownership of the device, adding accountability. This also gives a sense of responsibility for the device by each individual user. At the beginning of a shift, the user would scan their unique user barcode, for example, on their employee badge, to check out the device, associating the device with their username. At the end of their shift, they would log out, which checks the device back in, releasing the association of the user to the device. A restriction on the barcodes accepted can be enforced by setting a barcode prefix. This is a string of specified characters that the barcode must begin with. If the barcode scan does not contain that prefix, the user is prevented from accessing the device. So let me give you a quick demonstration of the finding process. On the right, you'll see the user, let's call him Max, holding the device shown on the left. This is what we call the finding device, the device performing the search. In this situation, Robert has lost his device, so Max is trying to locate Robert's device, which was last connected to the access point in the plumbing department. So Max walks towards the plumbing department and uses the proximity meter to gauge how far or how close he is located in reference to Robert's device. As he moves closer, the meter fills further to the right. Now that Max is in close vicinity to Robert's device, Max then taps the play sound button. I'm not sure if you heard the alarm sound from my presentation. No, that's not the fire alarm, but it is the audio sound being demonstrated as being played on Robert's device. So Max can pinpoint Robert's device by following that sound emitted to identify its exact location. The actual sound from Device Tracker is more of a chirping sound. Once Max finds Robert's device, he can tap Yes, as seen on the device screen here, to indicate that he has found Robert's device. This makes it visible to the manager and admin, indicating that Robert's device was found. They can then recommission the device to place it back into service into the active device pool. So let's discuss what the future has in store for Device Tracker. We have plans to add new device and platform support through mid-year next year. This is a list of devices and platforms that Device Tracker will be supporting. In particular, there are a few devices being released that include secondary BLE, which, as mentioned earlier, can be used to track devices that have lost battery power. This includes the TC52AX and MC33AX, both on Android 11, due to be released soon this summer, as well as the next generation TC5X and TC7X on Android 11 as well, planned for release early next year. So you're aware, we are offering a free year of device tracker service for devices purchased that have a secondary BLE. Just a little side note for your information. As for new Android platforms, support for Android 12 is planned for mid-year next year. We are working on some upcoming new features for Device Tracker, a few of which are planned are highlighted here. Later this year, we will support SSL login integration, particularly with OAuth OIDC protocol. SSL login can be used in place of scanning a barcode during device checkout and for login to the web portal. This offers increased security, eases customer deployment, and authenticates users. As for reporting, on a daily basis, a snapshot report of the dashboard can be sent via email to site managers containing information such as the number of devices connected, number of devices found, the number of devices not found, and so forth. This can be useful in situations where a site manager may need a check at the end of the day to monitor the number of devices available for the next day in preparation for the next shift, taking action to find misplaced devices and charge devices low on battery. As for analytics, we are working on providing historical analytical data showing the number of devices marked to be found, devices that cannot be found, low battery, etc. This can be helpful for administrators to gauge whether there are high occurrences of lost or misplaced devices in a particular site. After a device is marked to be found and goes through the finding process, it needs to be recommissioned to be placed back into the active pool of devices. Rather than doing this manually, we will have a new feature to automatically recommission a device after it is found. A new feature planned for early next year is device idle detection, which monitors when a device has been idle or has not been moved for a specified period of time. This could indicate that it is not in active use and may potentially have been misplaced, generating a red flag even prior to identifying that the device was lost. Here we have some features that are being considered for future versions later down the road. These have not been committed yet and are under consideration. Just to call out a few features, we are considering to add support for mobile printers and accessories, such as Bluetooth scanners, to be able to track these devices in addition to Android mobile computers. For devices that lose Wi-Fi connectivity, we can potentially automatically enable beaconing to locate the device, which can help to ensure devices remain in a designated area, thereby helping to prevent theft. Another feature in consideration is a new method in uploading data. The data consists of device, site, and access point information placed in CSV file format. For this new feature, the data could be uploaded through the web portal rather than through a device. And lastly, a feature that we have been receiving requests for is the ability to customize the remote audio alert sound played when locating devices. So a more suitable audio sound can be played that better fits within a particular environment to call to the user's attention when finding a device. And that concludes my presentation on Device Tracker. Device Tracker could be a valuable solution, providing visibility to all your devices and to easily track and find your devices across multiple locations. Thank you for your time.